are from the Pavlis Institute, and all of us just traveled to Ghana this summer, but there's also a portion of our group that traveled to Argentina. So we'll focus mostly on Ghana, but there's other aspects to our program as well. We're also mostly going to just cover our program as a whole because we've been continuing for a while, and if you want to learn more about our very specific projects, you can do that.
So Pavlis started in 2006. Frank Pavlis started. He graduated in 1938, and he's still from Tech with a bachelor's in chemical engineering. He's still very active, still alive, if anyone wonders. He then went on and finished a master's at U of M in chemical engineering, and then also finished the business program from Harvard. And when he retired from Air Products, the company that he had kind of developed, created, it's now part of the Fortune 500, I believe. He realized how important it was to have leadership skills and also be aware of the global market. So he looked back at the universities that he had graduated from and decided he wanted to start a program here at Tech because he thought it would have the biggest impact. So the leadership program is a 4-year program. Your first 3 years you do classes kind of focused on leadership, cultural awareness, communication skills. And then between your junior and senior year, you take the broad trip, which currently we're going to Ghana, Africa, and then also Argentina. You implement your skills, and then your senior year, you just kind of reflect back on what you did.
So as you mentioned, the 2 locations that were visited this past summer were Ghana and Argentina, and we're going to be implementing a couple other project sites in the future, possibly in Mexico, and I believe it's been confirmed up that they will be going to India next year, piloting another project there. So some of the projects that we focused on in Ghana, donating educational supplies and working with the schools. There were 2 schools in the cities of Kumasi and Sunyani, which are kind of in the central region of Ghana, inland. We brought supplies to the schools and continued working with them. Past groups had already made contact with the schools and kind of established a connection.
We also taught when we were at the school, we did a lot of business things. Inside the school.
Yeah, the blog is something that they set up there so that there can be communication between schools in Ghana and hopefully schools back here. That's a project we're still working on to connect children directly and let them communicate and hopefully be able to fundraise to maintain internet access, because that's a problem keeping that as a sustainable project. And we did a lot of research on other project possibilities. There's a lot of work with medicine that can be done, awareness. In biochar agriculture, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's heard of biochar, but it's kind of like charcoal, and then you can put that in the soil, and it can increase the fertility of the soil. It's been up to 800%. So really great for the soil. And so we're doing this project because the Soil Research Institute at Houghton University of Science and Technology, or KNUST in Kumasi, they are doing a ton of research with biochar and are pretty much leading in the world with that right now. And so we are taking the knowledge from the scientists and helping to communicate that to the farmers. The Ghanaian government has decided to back putting a biochar reactor to make biochar in each regional capital. And so these farmers have the option to do this, which would mean taking all of your agricultural waste and bringing it to this reactor, and then you have to bring it back to their farm. And so it's hard to explain to the farmers why they should take that time and money and effort to do that unless they see the results. So what we're trying to do is to be that liaison between what the scientists know is an awesome product and trying to communicate that with the farmers so that they might be interested in using this. And so we did a little experiment, which it's always really interesting when you do something like this, especially in another country, but we didn't have any of the material that we necessarily wanted, so we weren't sure if it would be there or not, and so we had to do this kind of by the seat of our pants, and it didn't really work, but the community was really awesome, and they kind of brought us to the realization that they make charcoal all the time, and processed. And so we learned a lot, and they learned, and now they're going to be doing a little plot in the school and comparing the soil quality and the yield of the crops with their school project. So you take something, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this, it kind of fails, but then working with these people, it was awesome. They brought us all to a higher level of education and learning.
Yeah, one nice thing about Pavlis is that our projects, as they develop, we have a lot of different areas that are covered, like medical, education, the agricultural part, environmental, because Pavlis consists of students from all different disciplines on campus. So we try to start projects that would be more related to all different majors.
And all of these projects are things that the community suggests would be a good idea as well. So it may not be what we're specialized in, like I'm biomedical engineering, but I was doing this biochar agriculture project because that's what we do. In Argentina, they were able to build a water purification system. The water that they currently have comes from the mountains and has a very high sulfur content, so it is undrinkable. So they were able to do a whole system, which you see up on the left, that is filtering out, I think, all of the sulfur and making it so that they can at least use it for their daily activities. Not quite to drinkable quality yet because they had other issues that they didn't anticipate and have to send some core products soon so that they can fix that. They also taught entrepreneurial lessons to local artisans. So all of these crafts and things that the local people do are absolutely amazing, but you can't enter into like a global market. So that's where they're trying to work with them to be able to sell their products so that they can make more money. They also taught English lessons, which is one of the favorite things that the local people have from our program. They request this every year, and it's what people do in the evenings as a recreational thing. The students learn a lot, the Pavlis students, because they have to do Spanish and they have to do English. It's pretty interesting. And then they research potential projects for the future. So this afternoon, we're going to talk more about our specific projects and what we did. But mostly what we try to do is choose projects that the citizens of each country want, but then also we act more as a catalyst for these sorts of things. And so when we come, we can help communication between, like, say, the university and farmers, or we can kind of have a sense of urgency. A lot of times they bring us around to places just so that they were like, oh, the students are here again, that means we have to get the desk built. And so we would do these sorts of things, and that's where, like, the leadership comes in. And so we have a lot of background in these areas, but we also are trying to focus on building our leadership in